Should we start? Okay. Good evening, friends. This session is divided into three parts: what, where, why open source, then how, where we'll show a demo pull request, and then we'll talk about actual present consequences. Um, so, let's start with what. What is open source? Well, it's basically a software whose source code is open. Unlike proprietary softwares like Adobe Photoshop uh, or Microsoft Windows, open source software grants its users the right to study, change, distribute the software and the source code for anyone and for any purpose. Then these 2 points may not be totally correct, but generally, open source softwares are more secure as more people look through its source code and then their privacy respecting, not like the proprietary Android or spyware. Next comes where. Where is open source? Well, it's kind of omnipresent. In the code editor we use, the compilers, the interpreters of Python, Kotlin, C++, the libraries, the frameworks, some well-known media players, browsers, open source free software is behind many commercial applications, all of which you can see. You may ask for change, even you may change it by yourself. Then comes Android. Most of you know, not so much to say about it. Comes Gen/Linux, or I'm calling it Linux in short. It's an operating system. Android itself is powered by Linux. Then from smartphones to cars, for computers, home appliances, home desktops to enterprise servers, it's almost everywhere. It is one of the most reliable, secure, and open source
Religious?
operating systems. Next comes why. Well, why should you consider contributing to open source? What's the reason? Uh, well, the first point is you'll get the experience of working in a medium to big size projects. Test your knowledge of a particular programming language or framework. Printing patterns or finding Armstrong numbers, prime numbers is not real development. Open source initiatives like Wikipedia, for example, solve many real world problems. Next point is somewhat obvious. Working on the code base on which your software depends on or on which you are interested about will surely increase your knowledge about things to inner workings. Well, don't worry. Like, you need not to be an expert to start your contributions. You may learn as you go, and there are some good simple repositories for first timers as well. Next, the conversation on an issue or bug with an experienced developer is valuable. Whenever you do some mistakes, genuinely ask him to explain you what the wrong you did, and for the good work, the community will praise you. Then comes networking. Many of the open source software has their Discord or Slack channels. Through that, you can get a chance to know more people of similar interests, and in future, they may help you to get some job or opportunities. Uh, then this points us at the last point, that is contributions to open source shows how much you are confident about a particular technology. And you have the experience of working in a large code base, in a community with some standards. That would be a unique thing among your peers. Then the last point is kind of self-explanatory. After your pull requests have been merged, probably you will get a feeling of achieving something. Then some events like Hacktoberfest, GSOC distributes packs, prizes, and of course your impact. A library, for example, let me give you an example, like the SFMPEG. It is used by YouTube, VLC, Blender, VirtualDOM, Google Chrome, Firefox, even the NASA's Mars 2020 mission Perseverance rover used it for image and video processing. So a small change or a pull request in these kinds of libraries impacts so many projects. Next, so what's there for us? What can you contribute to? Contributing to documentations, translations are considered to be somewhat easier than code contributions. Basically, documentation describes the project, its code, its purpose, anything which we write for someone else to understand our work. Many softwares are available in different languages, so you may contribute to their translations as well. By the way, Microsoft Calculator is also an open source software. Then there are some events related to open source contribution. Right now, our aim is to contribute to some of the beginner friendly issues, projects, probably nothing which will impact the whole world like what we have seen in the previous slide, but somewhere we should start. Let Hacktoberfest and some simple issues be our first steps. Next, others will show us a demo by creating a pull request. Any questions till now?
No questions. So I think it's clear to everyone. Thank you so much, Abir, for this presentation. And now I'm sharing my screen so that I may demonstrate you how a pull request is made. So first of all, you need to create a GitHub account. I have already created a GitHub account. So what you have to do is search for some repository here, but I already have the repository that I want to contribute in. It is by Dev Abir. And first of all, let us understand what is Git and what is GitHub. So Git is a version control system. What does a version control system mean? So suppose here is some code, and if I want to make some change to it, how will I keep track of these changes? So the conventional method is to copy the files and make changes to the new ones. But as the project grows, it keeps increasing in size, and it is not very efficient to keep copy pasting the code because it makes it hard to manage. So what do we have? We have a Git. It is a version control system. So if you go to Google and type download Git, then you I download Git, and then you go to this website. You can download Git for your OS. I have already Git installed in my machine. And GitHub is just a type of Git, but it is kind of somewhat soothing to the eyes because it has a graphical user interface instead of the standard terminal interface. So if I want to make any change to a certain repository, by the way, a code base is called a repository. So here all the files are, and this is a repository. So first of all, I have to fork this repository. So to fork it, I just have to click here and it will get forked. Fork means a copy of this repository will be created in my profile. So now in my profile, this code is there, and now I can make changes to my code.
which means the copy of my code. I cannot merge the changes
Excuse
directly
me.
into the. Yes, sir.
Adarsh, will this affect your code while the changes you make, or it will
Yes.
affect the?
I cannot make changes to the initial repository. I have to
Okay.
copy the code into my profile and make changes to that code, and then I request the owner of the initial repository to accept these changes. So if the owner accepts the changes, that is merges my pull request in the initial repository, then I can be seen as a contributor in that repository and my code will get merged.
So to
So
fork, you mean like you can copy this part of the
yes,
code
create
in
a
your
duplicate of,
repository?
yes,
Okay.
right. Create a duplicate of that repository in my profile.
Okay.
So this is my profile, and here I can see it's written fork from Devabir, and now I have to download this code in my computer, in my development environment. I have this folder where I will download this code. So I'll open it with my IDE, which is Visual Studio Code, by the way, an open source software. So if you don't know how to download using Git, you can just download the zip of this entire repository, but I will use this SSH link. So I have copied the link, and now in my terminal I'll write git clone and shift insert to paste that link in the terminal. Control V doesn't work in terminal in some OS. So what does this mean? We are saying git please clone this repository for me, and where do we want to clone it? In the current directory where we are present, which is e/demo. So if I press enter, the code will get downloaded and you can see the files on the left hand side. So here the files are, and we can see the issues here in the original repository. Here the issues are, the nav links are not working. So let's fix this issue. So first of all, I have to run my development server, because this is a Django project. If you don't know what Django is, don't worry. You can make contribution to other repositories, but this is a Django project, so I'm running my development server. I have my manage.py here, so I can write Python manage.py run server. And now I'll go to port 8000, and here my app is up and running. So there was the issue that these nav links are not working, so these links are not working. So what I'll do is I'll just remove that. So in my templates, base.html, this is what we want to remove. This link drop down, I'll remove this list item and save it, and now if I refresh the page, it is gone. So now what we can do is we can write git add dot, which means add all the files present in the current directory to my git repository, which means check for all these files and look where the changes have been made. Now if we write git status, you can see the files which have been changed. The main change is in base.html, but I cannot find it right now. I don't know why. But anyways, all these files are auto generated, so we don't have to worry about them. And now I'll write git commit -m removed nav links. What does this mean? We are saying to Git that commit these changes that I have made with a message remove nav links, and I'll also write fixed issue. And what's the issue number? Let me see. This is issue number 2. So fixed issue number 2, and I'll commit these changes with this message. The changes have been committed, and since I cloned this repository from a remote repository, I can directly write git push, and the changes will be pushed to my repository on my GitHub account. So it will take a while, and the changes have been pushed. And now if I refresh this repository, this is my repository, and remove lav links and fixed issue DevAbir number 2. So I have fixed that issue, and now when I go to this here, you can see this branch is one commit ahead of DevAbir master. I am on master branch right now. So yeah, don't worry about branches right now. If you don't know Git, just listen to me what I'm saying. So if I want to make further changes, I can make that. But now I want to open a pull request. What does this mean? That I'm requesting Abir to accept my changes in his GitHub account. So if I open the pull request now, here.
Excuse me, Adarsh.
Yes.
You are one commit ahead of the Abir's repository, which means
Yes.
that you have all the issues fixed, right?
No, I might not have all the issues fixed. I may have fixed one of the issues, or I might have found
Okay,
another
it
issue
means-
with the code.
Yeah. It means you have fixed some of the issues which Abir's repository was facing, and
Yes.
that means you are some way ahead of him, right?
Yes,
That's what
I
it
am
means, right?
somewhere ahead of him. I might not have been able to fix an issue, but I might have contributed something else. So it is actually fixing the issue is just one of the things you can do with Git, and you
Well,
can
now,
contribute anything.
Okay, well now you are pulling a request for Abir to make those changes in his repository, right?
Yes, I'm requesting Abir that accept my changes and merge these changes into your own repository. So here I'll open pull request, and I can leave a comment here, but I am not leaving anything. I just have my commit message here, and I'll create a pull request. So the pull request has been made, and now if Abir wants to accept these changes, he may. Abir, please accept these changes. Don't request the owner of the repository like this. I'm requesting him because he's in a meeting right now with me.
I've merged it.
Okay, all right. So if I go to DevAbir's profile right now and see that repository, it is showing me as a contributor, and issues have been fixed, I guess. Pull requests, 2 closed. He has accepted 2 of my pull requests. This was a demo request, and removed nav links. This has been accepted. So this was how to create a demo pull request. I hope you understood. And do you have any question? Does anyone have any question?
So others, the Abhi was saying that we can contribute also to languages and other things like
Yes.
that, documentation parts. So also show us that how we can do those things.
Okay, all right. I'm showing you. Suppose this is the repository. Here you can see there is a readme.md file. This is the documentation. All right. So here this is the basic description of the project, and if we go to some popular library, maybe like React, Django or something like that, we'll see a bigger documentation, but we don't have anything like that here. So if I make changes to my readme.md here, this is my file, and I can make changes to it. Suppose I am writing here, I have I have updated this file and I want to create a pull request. This is a demo of updating documentation. We can also write this in another language, which is called translation. Here the green lines indicate there has been some change in this part, and now I will commit it again. So git add all files, git commit -m, updated readme, git push. It will take a while and the changes have been pushed now. And so let me go to my profile, my repositories, and here you can see the changes. I changed this file and the changes are visible now. So I can create another pull request. I'll go to pull request. Wait a minute. Yeah. Open pull request and create pull request. Updated readme. I have updated the readme and translated it, and I'll create a pull request. And now it is up to Abir whether he wants to accept it or not. However, I'd like to say don't go to any repository and just update readme or update anything without just
Making any
knowing
changes.
anything. No, you will definitely make some changes, but don't just spam it, because it will be very irritating for the owner, I guess, because you don't want to spam the owner. You want to make some valuable change that might get accepted.
Understood.
There are certain repositories like React. If we search React and read its documentation, you can see a lot of thing is written here. But we don't have anything like that. Here you can see import scheduling profiler, and it fixed this issue. Here this issue has been fixed number 21972, and there are a lot of contributors. You can see 1507 contributions are there.
Can we contribute to like anyone randomly on the GitHub?
It's not GitHub, it's GitHub. And
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
you may contribute to anything, but don't contribute with. Here you can see actually contribution.md file. Yes, contributing.md. Here the rules are written. Contribution guide, how to contribute, code of conduct, and rules. The rules and regulations are written here, that what you should be contributing. Don't just go about spamming projects, because it will not be accepted and it is not a good practice. So I guess you understood something. And do you have any question?
Hello, Adarsh.
Yes.
I have already an account in GitHub. Then what I will do in further?
First of all, do you have any projects on your local machine?
Yes.
On your laptop or your desktop?
Yeah, small project like front end, like web design.
Yes. So first of all, you should start by pushing that to GitHub.
I have already
Like learn the basics of Git. Yes. What have you already done?
already pushed that project in GitHub.
Yes. So you should learn something more. Like, what do you know what Git ignore is?
Excuse me, repeat please.
Do you know what a git ignore is?
No. I have already only the basic things, but no further
Okay.
idea.
So I'm showing you what a git ignore is. You can see this is a file called .gitignore. It starts with a dot, and if I open this file, you can see star.exe and star.class. This file contains the name of those files which should not be pushed to GitHub. Like if you compile a C program or C++ program, what do you get? You get a .exe file. And if you compile a Java program, you get a .class file. All right. And these files can be generated by anyone, anytime with the help of a compiler. And if you are developing something in C, C++ or Java, then you have the respective compiler. So if you push the exe files and class files, then first of all, your repository size will increase, and these files can be generated at any time, so there is no need to push it. So I have this git ignore, and star.exe means don't push the files which have a .exe extension. Star means everything. So git ignore will look at it, and all the files which have the extension of .exe will not be pushed to GitHub. Alright, I have this, suppose I want searching algorithm. I have binary search here I have in Python right now.